Okay, this is like impossible to even try to talk about, but we'll try. The unseen and the seen, whether people like it or not, there's going to be influence from the unseen. Okay, if any one person now on earth, since the gadget, since this technology, since this technology is everywhere, nobody can say that they were influenced internally. Does that make sense? Think about what I just said. A child's cerebrum is already developed around these phones. So by the time they're 7, whatever is in here is in there. And it's concrete. The occipital lobe is the child, which is imagination. It's grown with the cerebrum, which is memory. So the memory and the imagination has grown into a concrete, false reality through this fucking garbage. Through this right here. So from 7 on, you could have a billion of them coming at you saying, oh no, they did that. No, they didn't. It was influenced from the exterior. They have nothing on the inside. Nothing at all. Nothing. Because if we go back through the way you're raised, okay, these are everywhere now, even in kindergarten. Which is, I don't understand. I do. But the species that they've created is very obedient. And it is very backstabbing. It won't listen. Won't look. It just shows you whoever they are. It's sick. But their whole life they don't understand they've been influenced from something other than themselves. And see, this phone stores memory. Well, the cerebrum stores memory. That's where the invention of storing memory comes from the cerebrum. So as all this is growing as a child, it's growing into the faculties and senses have been developed around man-made shit. It has to make sense. They learn flowers on this and drawing and stuff. They might have some here and there, but see, the brain registers all those colors. And see, the whole trick is it doesn't matter how much older the child gets, they live a full life. All the colors that they've learned through life, through this, comes out upon death into demon forms. Yeah. And because the cartoons and all that and the fake stuff, all that, it's uploaded into the brain. And so the faculties and senses, instead of developed around roses and carnations, flowers, daisies, whatever it is, every type of different color there is, birds, the different colors they are, all kinds, anything whatsoever. Those, when you pay attention to those, if we go over, upon going over, all that comes to life. Or not life, but it goes into a form, different forms. You see what I mean? So instead of hearing nature and God's creation and all that, because let me tell you something, if you can get out of it, there's way more to be interested in out there than ever in TV dumbling. So instead of us, oh no, hang on. So instead of us knowing, that was dumb. Instead of us knowing what the true colors and what real vibration, see the eyes, everything is connected to this. You understand? That's why the people can't get out of it. The optic nerve, okay? The occipital lobe and all that, the senses. Even you walking down the hallways and growing up and there's paint there. Even that paint sends off a vibration. Because its walls. So truthfully, the brain's already being developed to be in a prison. Okay? And then you throw these in, and now it's being programmed with not real colors. They're colors from black magic, sorcery, satanic magicians. And their job is to fill up the goy with as much shit as possible, with as much garbage as possible, much of their influence, not their own, that should come from. You're going to get different emotions paying attention to nature or watching the same show. You're going to get false emotions written by black magic magicians because it's a script writer, but you're going to get better emotions from that script writer out there. Because one thing they can't mimic is that. They can destroy it, which they've done very well, but they can't create that. And they had to use us to do this. And so we know, those of us, it's hard being neutral and not, how our soul and Holy Spirit and astral and ether body, plants have an ether, which would be air. They depend on air. They're life form. They're a life form like we are. They're in a state of consciousness that you probably couldn't fathom. But they depend on the air for all that beauty that they have. And then what do they have the dumb goy doing? No, you didn't put that on! You put it on! It's like, go look at there. The inside of your brain looks like shit. And that's because you suffocate yourself, because you're not real in the head. You're handicapped goy. And so when you fill up the mind full of garbage, then the individual never has a chance. Ever. Because when everything's emptied out, see, an animal's going to have an astral body, which has to do with this. When people talk about, does animals go to heaven? Well, of course they do. They come from that. Those are animals. You know, when we go over these, if we don't pay attention to nature, can jump. I mean, the thing is they don't want you to know this, but we go, we're going to go, Christians used to go in reverse each day. That's a practice. Go through the day in reverse. Why? Well, upon death, you go in reverse 5 days, your whole life. Yeah, go into a mural, mosaic, panoramic view of your whole entire life and see everything. It all comes out, all of it. And so if the goy are constantly filled with this nasty garbage shit, and like I've said, the millions and billions that go over, you don't understand that it's not just them. Now the goy go by the chemicals, because you got to have the best yards, all right? You need to kill everything. And so the life forms, you know, that do not live the life that they're here to live, that energy, that ether body ceases, and then that energy that's not used goes over there, not used. It's just like the individual put here on earth just to do the bidding for it. Every bit of energy that they had, and they never fucking exerted it for anything else other than to go consume shit and obey a TV. That's it. And to go, look at this! You see my piece of paper? I was raised with toys and dolls. Yeah. You see, and it's this thing. I know I can see the unseen. I saw you earlier. It's fucking crazy that I just said that, because it just made me remember. I was doing something because the sun's going over and something flashed and I was like, whoa! But the whole thing is it doesn't matter if it's us humans, if it's plant lives, animals. Now the goy give the animals human food, which even destroys the human, so it's going to destroy the animal. Now the animals are going back. with distorted bullshit sitting there, just laying there, just laying there. You just don't understand what I'm telling you. In the movie Nefarious, he says, my master has thought of every facet to destroy everything. And nobody, those are not movies, those are mockeries of what the goy they've created. I already know, and little magicians, I want to see the fucking, I want you to summon the spirit in front of me. I want to see it, talk to it. I'm serious. That same one, it's in Bush, that just, it can't fucking help itself. It's almost there. You've been waiting for a long time. Just wait. And then you got a fucking letter in the mail of that shit. And it was like, God damn it. So now you're starting to understand the unseen a little bit. And I understand completely if you're going to come at me. No, there's just heaven and hell. And I'm going to heaven. That's a 5-year-old response. You got to earn your fucking ticket, buddy. Doesn't matter who you are, you got to earn it. It never says to obey the world. It never says, Scripture says you can't serve two masters. So if we go to Black's Law, it says the surname, which is the last name, which is above and beyond the Christian name, which is the first name. So that last name is what we obey in this system of commerce, which is materialism, which is Ahrimanic. So everybody has a Ahrimanic consciousness that goes off conventional mathematics, which is not fucking real. It's their faculties have been built around math. If it's not on here in numbers, I'm not looking. Come here, it's just right there. No, I'm not looking because I'm the expert. And if you challenge these little Ahrimanic beings that they've created, it's not hard. I'm starting to really enjoy being around these little beings that they created. Because every one of them now is in their cells. Because every room is a cell, and billions of cells create this thing. Like in 1984, he says, you think I'm just no man? We're just sitting here talking about power and a decaying body, but I represent one cell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know! So, that's the whole thing. Each cell, it doesn't matter what they're watching, that's the design. They're not like one of these cells out here working together. Look, the whole, listen, you can go out there and dig a hole and keep putting water in it, and tadpoles will be created, and then you'll see life created. Where'd they come from? They didn't walk up in there, them life forms. It's the magnetic field. And the average person, their faculties and senses, they've been inside. You kill everything. So that's not even a fucking human being. It's not. And they'll go to the other side. I mean, now I'm literally fucking being punished. And what's funny is history repeats itself. Because through my journals in the first 6 months, what I went through is exactly what I'm going through now. And I'm at just past 6 months, going into 10. Nobody's changed except me. Nobody, the whole thing is, and I'm just talking about my geographical location. And it eats people up because certain people reach out. And I always tell them, dude, you got to fucking lose these emotions, that you've been built around. Jesus wouldn't give you all the bullshit here. You go be a dummy. So, now that we can understand the connection to a doll, to G.I. Joe toys, all this shit like I had, not to dolls, but even though I carried a doll naked because it was cold, I put my face on it and it was cold. And I remember I was like, let's invent a pillow that stays cool. Hey, you stupid. And then lo and behold, there's one. And there's so many. I'm sure y'all could say, dude, I've had the ideas too. People say you're crazy, and then there it is. That's what I'm saying. We're innovative. You see, your sensory perception and your physical senses aren't that corrupt because some of these people, you get on the salts and stuff, and you literally, like, your thinking and thoughts, all that, when you're in a predicament, you'll think of things really quick. Yeah, but once you're stuck, your faculties and senses are stuck in this nasty system of, they have to show you what you got to take in order to get better, even though you don't. You take a foreign substance, which is for one toxic. Anything outside God is an idol. So it doesn't matter. It's my Copenhagen. When we can start to identify foreign substances, and then it'll hit you and say, because most people say, well, fuck it. No. No. Our job, since we are so ingrained with literally destroying ourselves, we have to start shedding some of that. You're not going to get rid of all of it, trust me. I've tried over and over and over to get rid. You can't, because the truth is if I do, I'll really start seeing more and more and more, and I'll probably lose my worldly mind. But what's in me doesn't, being neutral, it's in control, which is God. So it should make sense. You know, make sense. You know, because when it comes to blood in Scripture, when it talks about wine, the wine represents your blood, turning water into blood, turning what you eat into blood. That's what that is. It has nothing to do with drinking it. They've opened the door up for dummies. And see, that's how this spirit of Al-Kul, which represents Bacchus, however you want to pronounce it, which is alcohol, which is a death, flesh-eating, spirit-eating spirit, all of that. And they've released that spirit through the airwaves, radio, raw, DO waves, just like ocean waves are charging this that we're in. The radio waves are charging the ears. Go get some alcohol, yeah. Because they started out drinking and driving, and then they had a big thing. Well, we don't need to drink and drive, and then it creates groups, Ahrimanic groups. Here comes more groups. They start out with nothing, and then the offspring, they get them to rebel, each one, and then it's very easy to see the unseen, what it's done, and going to do. It drives me crazy because I know some of them really would like to sit down and pick what's coming through me, but they can't. We're way beyond too deep now for something to happen. Because the people would fucking grow a conscience. Yeah. There would literally have to, you would like, but then again, you like chess matches, don't you? You like chess matches. Let's speak to them for a minute. You like it when something pops up and you can't fucking do nothing about it, really. You can, but then you risk certain things. So what happens is you got to let it play out and hope for the best. Or whatever. I'm speaking in goy terms. But it's not hard to see how, like, school is fish, markets, the stock market, animals, State Farm, Farm Bureau. It's very easy to see that. But the influences have always been exterior. See, this is the billboards and the ads and all that. If your influence was interior, the internal, which is dealing with nature and getting to know what you're made of, and nobody gives a shit no more than it, you would see, you'd understand it. This is Ahrimanic and this is godly. Okay, this is careers and this is godly. This is obedience, this is godly. No one person. Because even children growing up poor who say we grew up poor and they're rich as shit, I'm just saying, see, the influence was being in the poverty, but was created by the ment of the govern the mind, control the mind, and then control them in order for them to strive and to obey a system and to pay your taxes, and we're going to make sure that you get a lot of money, and then you be a dummy and just sit there and be a fucking dummy, Ahriman. I know more than what I portray. I can go on and on and on and on and on and on. Just like I was saying, like the trees and the grass and all that being, you know, it's you'll still see it. And those of y'all that never look at it, you'll see it in a different way. A very ugly way. A very torturing, punishing way is what you will see. And everything that you've ever uploaded will be a monster too. A big monster, a lot of monsters. Whatever it is. All that fear they put into people. That's the thing is they create this Ahrimanic being with so much fucking worldly want that the image of God in there doesn't have a chance because it's been programmed to consume it all. And then if they do get a chance, they just try to hold on to it, because I've seen them, I've watched them die and go, and they don't want to die. They want to stay here. And then I've seen some leave. Just go to any nursing home. The ones just like that, Ahriman's gone, done his job. Now there's nothing left except for the controllers to stick shit in them, keep them alive, and build more fucking fake career structures and everything. So those dumb, young, goy, Ahrimanic beings are on the rise to fill those up with nothing but fucking ignorant minds. And that's it. And I love the shit out of you.